We're the place you come to when you've got a stack of sources and need someone to plunge headfirst into the topics everyone's talking about. And today, yeah, we're unpacking something that's really captured the internet's attention. I mean, maybe it's imagination too. Meme coins. You've definitely seen the headlines, maybe you heard those wild stories, people getting rich overnight. Sometimes it just seems, well, absurd.
It really does. It's one of those areas that seems to defy traditional financial logic. And the big question for us today, it really boils down to this. Are meme coins just like an internet joke, a fad? Or could they possibly be seen as a legitimate investment? It's tricky, and it actually tells us a lot about human behavior, not just finance.
Exactly. So our mission here is to sift through all that information you sent us, try to cut through the hype, and help you really get a handle on what these things are, why they get so much attention, and crucially, the risks, the very, very real risks involved. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, let's get a definition down. What are meme coins exactly? Fundamentally, they're cryptocurrencies, right? But they're inspired directly by internet memes or pop culture, sometimes just satirical ideas. Think digital tokens born from online jokes.
Right, and what's really interesting and quite different is how much they contrast with, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum. Those traditional cryptos were mostly designed to solve actual tech problems or have some kind of real-world use, like payments or running apps. Meme coins, they're usually just created for laughs or building a community or, purely for people to speculate on. They almost never have that deep tech innovation or a practical point behind them in the same way. It's almost like someone made a currency based on that viral cat meme and suddenly people are trading it.
It's a strange paradox, isn't it? You just call them digital jokes, basically. But serious money flows into them. What's going on there? I mean, beyond just get rich quick, what's the actual appeal? Why do people invest? Well, okay, one huge draw is definitely the potential for just, mind-blowing returns. We have seen cases, documented cases, where they've gone up exponentially, really fast, turning tiny investments into fortunes for the people who got in super early. Then there's this whole community thing, the hype, strong online groups, viral trends on social media that can kind of create their own reality, driving prices up just on enthusiasm. They're easy to get into, often super cheap, right? So you can jump in with just a few bucks, add it all up, especially the crazy volatility. And it just attracts traders who like that risk, who are looking for those quick wins.
But that volatility, that's where we really need to pause. Because yes, the potential gains are there, but the downsides are just as big, maybe even bigger. Extreme volatility isn't just a possibility, it's basically guaranteed. Prices can shoot up, sure, but they can also crash, literally to zero, sometimes in hours. Your sources mention the whole meme coin market cap grew, 500% in 2024? Huge number. But it also had these really sharp, sudden crashes all through 2025, so swings both ways.
Those are serious warnings. It sounds like playing in this market is, like walking a tightrope. But, some people might argue, hey, isn't investing in a hot tech startup risky? Or even some volatile stocks. How do the risks here with these sort of joke coins really compare? Is it just more risk or is it a different kind of risk altogether?
That's a really good question to dig into. Because yes, all investing has risk, but the fundamental difference with most meme coins is they have almost zero underlying value, no real utility, no tech breakthrough. Their price is driven almost completely by, temporary hype, social media buzz, community feeling, not by anything tangible. And because they lack that substance, they're unfortunately prime targets for scams, especially something called a rug pull. That's where the creators, or maybe some insiders, just suddenly pull all the money out of the trading pool and boom, everyone else is left holding worthless tokens they can't even sell. It's alarming, but your sources showed over $500 million lost just to meme coin rug pulls and scams in 2024 alone. On top of that, you've got the regulatory side. As of 2025, big regulators like the SEC in the US, they've basically said meme coins aren't securities, which means they're mostly unregulated. So if you get scammed or the whole thing collapses, there's very little legal protection for you. And one more thing, liquidity. A lot of these coins, it's hard to buy or sell large amounts without massively moving the price. That makes them easy to manipulate and really difficult to cash out if you actually want to take profits, assuming there are any.
Okay, so massive risks, got it. But we do have to talk about the success stories, the ones that make the headlines and grab everyone's imagination. Dogecoin, DOGE, and Shiba Inu, SHIB, but they became household names, didn't they? Some people genuinely turned tiny amounts into millions, maybe even billions in a few cases. We saw it happen. And more recently, 2025, coins like PE, WYF, even that Trump coin. Similar stories, huge windfalls for some traders. It almost makes you wonder if, sometimes, a really good meme is worth more than a solid business plan in this weird digital age.
And that's the fascinating part, right? Because those stories, while they're absolutely captivating, they are the outliers. They are extremely rare. Almost always, it comes down to just perfect timing and, frankly, a lot of luck. It's definitely not something you can rely on as like a repeatable investment strategy. That's such a critical point for people to grasp. Maybe it helps if we just, compare them side by side. Meme coins versus traditional cryptocurrencies. Purpose. Meme coins, humor, hype, speculation, traditional cryptos, usually technology, utility, solving a problem, volatility. Meme coins, extremely high, like off the charts. Traditional. Still high, yes, but often a bit more stable and maybe tied to development progress. Fundamental value. Meme coins, minimal, maybe zero. Traditional. Usually significant, linked to their tech or network. Community influence. Meme coins, incredibly strong. Almost everything. Traditional. Important, yes, but more moderate. Tech often matters more. Regulation. Meme coins, very little. Traditional, increasingly regulated, it's evolving. And long-term prospects, meme coins, super uncertain, often very short-lived. Traditional, more established, though still young, of course. Seeing that contrast really highlights what's going on. Are we watching a new type of asset emerge, or is it more like sophisticated online gambling with a crypto twist?
Okay, so let's bring it back home. Our core quotient, meme coins joke or legitimate investment. The joke argument seems pretty strong based on what we've discussed. They're often literally started as jokes, or maybe collectibles. Very little real value underneath. Prices driven by internet fads, maybe a celebrity tweets about it, pure speculation. Makes them wildly unpredictable, super risky. It's almost like a live test of, collective belief in how fast it can catch fire and how fast it can burn out. But then, there's that tiny, tiny chance. For a very small number of people, the legitimate investment argument actually did work out. They did deliver those huge gains. And we are seeing, maybe, some newer projects trying to bolt on some utility or governance features, trying to seem more serious. But let's be really clear, like you said, those are still the exceptions, right? Not the rule. Often feels more like an afterthought to seem legit than a real plan.
Exactly. So, boiling it down for you, the key takeaways from all this information are pretty clear. 1, meme coins can offer quick, big profits, but they come with a really, really high chance of loss. High risk of scams, high risk of manipulation. 2, they are generally not suitable for long-term goals, like building wealth over time, saving for retirement, protecting against inflation. Probably not the right tool. 3, if you do decide to get involved, you absolutely must treat it as pure speculation. A gamble. Never ever put in more money than you can genuinely afford to lose completely. And always, always do your homework on the specific coin, the team, the community. Though, honestly, even that research might not save you from a rug pull.
Right, so the bottom line, and this comes through loud and clear from the sources, is that meme coins, they're best seen as highly speculative, super high-risk assets. Maybe think lottery tickets or digital beanie babies rather than a serious investment like stocks or bonds. Yeah, they can be fun, they can be exciting, and okay, sometimes, for a few lucky people, they pay off big, but they are definitely not a reliable way to build wealth long-term. You absolutely have to approach them with extreme caution. Like maximum caution.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with as you process all this, think about the psychology behind it all. What does it really tell us about people, about markets? When something with no inherent value can suddenly be worth millions just because of, collective belief and viral trends. And how does that challenge or maybe reinforce our ideas about what value even means, especially now in this digital age? Something worth pondering.
That psychological angle is really fascinating, you're right. It forces us to question how we assign value and understand risk in totally new ways. Well, that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Thank you for joining us as we explored the wild world of meme coins. We hope you come away with a much clearer picture of the risks, the rare rewards, and just the sheer strangeness of some corners of our digital economy. Until next time.